And
What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it is time to lean in, bitch. Welcome back to the lean. If you were here earlier, welcome back. If you're here for the first time today, welcome. We're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. I'm here with Chad and Sammy, and I'm excited to talk about this actually because well, I can't. We don't see Sammy. Sammy, are you in the dark? Sammy,
Sammy, we don't see you.
well, if it's your first time at the lean, just know that every time there's a show, one of the co-hosts gives low budget, and today is Sammy. So it's all right. Expect it. It is what it is. Oh, he bad. Hold up. Not no.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Hey, Sammy.
Hey, Chad. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai, a new show on Bravo and Peacock that they've been teasing for a while. It was a show that we kind of were up in the air about whether or not we're gonna do it or not. But after last night's episode, we did cancel the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap just to watch the premiere. And honestly, I'm glad we did last night because it was actually a really good show. So myself, Sammy, and Chad are gonna talk about it. Let's kind of get into it. I see we got people in the chat. They were here earlier. Welcome back, Kyra, JP Rob. Hey, Lisa, Alasia Pointer. What's up? Sass K. I'm sorry you missed earlier. Byron. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a good discussion. And
hey, Kyra.
Hey, Kyra, and you can have a little more time if you call in today, Kyra. We had a lunch link earlier, so you couldn't be on there long. Okay, so what did y'all think of the premiere? Let's start there. And then we're going to get into some taglines. Then we get into the actual drama of the show. Because thus far, I want to say this is a very strong start. Starting with you, Chad.
I loved it. I thought that it was a good opener. Like you said, it was a very strong start. I was super happy to see Carolyn Stanbury because I've always liked her since Ladies of London. Mm-hmm. I've always liked Lesa Milan as well since College Hill days in Miami. So I thought it was a pretty good opener. I thought that we got to know enough about each lady to where it was to where it's like you can really get into them and their personalities. I really, really, really enjoyed Chanel Ayan like the most out of everybody on the whole episode. But I'm excited for what the season has to offer.
Yeah, I agree. I think as far as last night for the first episode, we got a lot of I got a lot of like each girl's personality and how they are going to fit together in the group. It was enough real small, like introductory stuff as well as group scenes. So I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good installment for the Housewives franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who would y'all say is your... Okay, so I know it's the first episode, but who is your fave at this moment? If you had to choose one, who actually like gave you the most of what you wanted just from the episode last night? Sammy.
From last night, I don't know. I didn't get what I want from anybody yet, I can say. But I think as far as standing out more so, it would have to be between Ayan and Brookes. Them two, they were real loud last night throughout the episode.
Okay.
For me, it's Chanel Ayan. She literally is made for reality TV. I could tell that that's her personality, and I could tell that it wasn't forced. Like, it felt like that's who she is on an everyday, regular basis. Like, I really thought that when I was watching her, I was like, oh, she really came prepared. Like, she was literally made for this show. I could see her fitting in other franchises with other women as well. Like, just the delusion of it all. I could just see her on anything. I loved it.
It was Brookes. One, because she looked like K. Michelle. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I mean, like K. Michelle.
The whole world has been saying it. First of all, I love K. Michelle, but that's not why I like Brookes. But she does look just like her, especially in the confessional with the fur and the little, the little short, like ball.
New K. Michelle,
very much so. But I just love from the promo. It was something about her that just kind of drew me to her. I mean, Chanel, obviously she's beautiful. And then Milan, I always go to the black women, obviously. But it was something about her, because for a second I was like, is that Niecy Nash? Because in the intro, she did give a little Niecy Nash, like she lost a little weight with lost a little bit of titty. I don't know, that would be up to me. But yeah, that's my face at that time. And I don't don't know. She didn't disappoint. Like she's the one that's actually close with Phaedra, which we'll find out later. So you know how I feel about that. But
I actually saw that Ascala actually knows them as well.
oh
I saw
really?
she
Well, I
posted,
can
yeah,
see that. That
she
makes sense.
posted she posted on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah.
So happy for my ladies, and it was Chanel in the picture, Brooks and Lisa.
They're all really good friends too. Like they seem to have like a lot of history, you know what I'm saying? Like it kind of, especially Milan, Chanel and Brooks, they seem like a friend circle that just like the rest of us. Like we kiki, we hang out, we have little issues, and we can talk about all these things. And now it's
Yeah.
on TV. You know how like you ever had like a friendship with people, you be like, child, they was recording us, like they would have a good show. I feel like they kind of embody that. Like they seem
Yeah.
like they have a really cool pack and pass, but also drama, which is any friendship in circle does. So yeah. Okay. I want to talk about the taglines. I feel like they had some really good taglines too to be some new housewives. I don't know who helped them, but I wanted to go through some of the taglines just to say like they kind of came through. And the first one, go ahead.
Wait. Before you go there,
Mhm.
speaking on the overall show too, I will say that I am very interested because the cast is so diverse. I feel like this is the first cast that we've seen from the jump
Yeah.
that was like completely diverse, not just one black or one white woman. It was like, I feel like it's half black women and then half, white and other women. So I thought that was pretty dope too. It's like a real diverse cast in my opinion. But yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at some of the comments, just seeing who everybody liking or whatever. I see some people. I've seen a couple of comments of people saying that Milan exudes bad bitch. I kind of agree with some of the comments. I do like Ayan, but I do feel like honestly, you got to say you're a bad bitch. I prefer just to give it. Just remember, I know me and Jamie did Salt Lake City when it first came out. And one thing irritating me about Jen Shah was that she just was. It felt like she was really trying to be the HBIC, and I really don't like that when I'm just getting to know you. That's just me though, and I kind of get that from her. She also did an interview saying that she actually her favorite housewives are
Jen
Dorinda,
Shaw,
Jen Shaw,
Dorinda, Kim Richards, and then there was
Kim
a
Richards.
second.
Yeah.
There was a second part, and people, I don't know if people saw it, but there was a second part. She also said Kenya Moore.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, Jen Shaw.
I thought that was a very interesting choice of people.
Especially Kim Richards. I was like,
yeah, but when she reached out on that part of the interview, she was like, "I'm one of the wackos" or whatever they called him. I was like, okay, she
And
here
I
for the
see it.
bullshit.
I like Kim Richards.
Yeah, exactly.
I have never really seen nobody say they were her favorite. That's just me. I don't know. But hey, there's somebody that's very bad at this point, child.
Right.
Okay. Well, so yeah, let's get to these actual you want to say something? Go ahead. Okay. Let's get to these actual taglines and say what y'all think. We already seen them, whatever, but of these two, what would be your favorite? Between Ayan and Caroline.
I'm gonna go with Chanel. I'm
gonna give mine to Caroline.
I equally like both, but we've kind of had a few versions of this. They don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Because if you remember Claudia Jordan, that was her tagline when she was on her first season. And I'm not saying, I mean, she did. I like the emphasis behind what Chanel did, me personally. But go ahead.
Caroline's for me just reminded me too much of Kyle's from I don't know if it was like the beginning of Beverly Hills, but Kyle's when she was like, "This city is mine," talking about Beverly Hills, but it just reminded me so much of Kyle's. I was like, I don't really like that. But Chanel's, it was like a reiteration of other ones, but I feel like Chanel really believes this, so I'm gonna go with Chanel.
Okay. Look, it's coming here. My bad. From JP Rob. All right, so then we got Milan and Nina. First of all, she's gorgeous. Like she's a very, very like I keep looking like she is so damn pretty. Whatever if anything's done to her face, it's done right because she looks really good.
She reminds me of
they're a good looking cast.
They are looking
they
really
are.
good. The whole cast looks really good. There is not one. I'll just say that. I want to go down there.
Nina looks like a mixture of Lisa Barlow and Lisa Rinna for some reason to me.
Oh, I see Renna. I do see Renna.
I definitely see Renna. I don't really see Barlow, but I see Renna.
I saw Barlow more on the show, not this picture.
Oh.
Okay. And if you didn't know already, you know, Lesa Milan is actually from College Hill, which is, I'm surprised. She didn't mention it at all, did she?
Uh-uh.
Are you surprised that she didn't mention it at all? You feel like she wanted to erase that from her, you know?
No. I mean, it's such a long thing ago, and College Hill was never really like a big thing outside of like our community. So it's like, why mention it?
Child, she could make it a big thing, child. She could let them know. Listen, this ain't my first time on TV.
Hell, who's to say? Hell, she might end up mentioning that
eventually.
later on.
Yeah,
maybe. I just thought maybe even more in her intro, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could see if it was another show like a Basketball Wives or something, but it's like College Hill was really like BT, not to shade BT, but you know,
she don't expect the people over at Bravo to know nothing about College Hill.
That's true, I guess. Some anyway, unless you're a real reality TV junkie.
Yeah.
Then we have the other Caroline, which they calling her Brookes as her last name, and then Sarah Al Madani. I'm gonna say. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I like both these taglines, but you know, I just have a soft spot for Brookes. Because when somebody said a savage, I'm like, well, girl, what's she about to do? And she seems like she may be doing a lot of poking. So I'm excited for that. I don't know.
I like Sarah's more because I think people when I was mentioning it last night as I was watching the show, Dubai is such a strange place still for me that they're like having a franchise there because there's so many rules and so many, you know. So I think that Sarah's is more. I mean, Sarah's is more so to the to like how everything is set up in Dubai. Like women, they really don't have a lot of rights compared to men there, and I mean, just in general, it's just like you do what the government say, and that's it. So I thought that was pretty interesting that she went that route with her tagline. But Brookes was cute too, because she do look like she gonna be a savage.
She gonna be hell.
Very much so. One thing, I guess, before we get into the actual storyline of what's going on, like somebody mentioned that not many of them, I don't think any of them are actually from Dubai, are they? They're just living there for different reasons. And you know, I don't have an issue with that because there are actually a lot of people who have relocated to Dubai for different reasons. I have a really close friend that went over there and got married. I think she was doing Teach for America or something a couple maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and she's been over there since she got married. So I'm sure a lot of women they kind of fall in that category to where they go over there for whatever reason. I think Brooke's story was kind of similar to going over there. She's from Boston, I believe she said. Was it Boston? Yeah. So go ahead, Chad.
But Sarah did mention that she mentioned, because remember when they showed how Dubai started in 1966, she mentioned that she watched it transform. So I think that she might have the most ties to Dubai.
I could see her being the one that is actually, you know, based off of, because she is, what did she say? What is she?
What's the name is Lebanese, so I know she's something else. Nina's Lebanese from Austin.
Okay, wait a minute. Look at Sasuke talking about a lot of escorts in Dubai. Now, how you know Sasuke? Are you the madam over there, Sasuke?
Okay.
I can't. Okay, yeah, that's what she is. She did say that last night.
Oh, so they said Sarah is Emirati.
Yeah, that's what she said last night. I couldn't remember specifically. Okay. So let's actually get into the episode. So Caroline, if you didn't know, is from Ladies of London. I've only seen clips of the show. I didn't watch it, but it was a Bravo show that came on back. I don't know how long ago it was. Did you watch it, Chad?
Yeah.
What was the basis of the show? Was it just women that were in like Europe, London, or what was it? Because I don't really know.
It was actually kind of weird because just how we're talking about Dubai and nobody's really being from Dubai, half of the cast was from America. And you had probably 2 or 3 of them that was from, you know, London and the UK. And it was basically just like a Housewives. It was literally the same setup, same exact thing. It was just like, I don't know if they were trying to create another franchise from it, you know, to do the whole Ladies of London or Ladies of something else. But it was really just the same thing, following the women through their daily lives. And it was just that. It was nothing special. But it was a good show.
Yeah. would you say that? So she was married on that show, right?
Correct.
And now so obviously they got divorced, and now she's married on this show.
Hmm.
And it seemed like it was a quick turnaround, you know what I'm saying, between the two, kind of. But this
Yeah,
time she's married, a younger man. I think he's 27,
27.
27, and she's like 45, 46,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't have no issue with them. It's like, okay, you
The
know.
girls made comments last night about that.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I don't really have a feeling about anybody's, you know, younger, older thing. I do think that we don't see it that often with women being the older person and men
Uh-huh.
being the younger person. But I mean, just by the way society views this type of stuff and knowing what I know about Caroline, it just looks like, like I think Chanel, no, not Chanel, Lisa was the one who said a relationship of, damn, what was her exact words? She said it was a collaborative relationship, and I
Mm.
was like, that's an interesting way to put it. So I'm like, maybe they're doing
Yes.
things for each other to, and that sometimes that's okay. That works for people where he's getting something out of it, and she's, staying in her groove and staying, young and fresh and all that. So I don't know. I think it's okay.
I think the only thing that was kind of off to me is how quickly she's getting remarried. Like, didn't she just finalize her divorce?
Yeah.
And then she mentioned that she met him during a midlife crisis. So it's like, okay, well, how is that going to fare over well once you come back to, if that's the case? So I don't know.
Now,
Yeah.
one thing that I saw on Twitter that was raving about last night was the dog. Was the dog that she had everywhere, which is all fine. But and in the beginning scene with her, the dog peed in the bed, and instead of her like kind of attending to the pee, she just got
Let it sit there.
coffee or something. She just let, and
Her little
I know it's
shake.
a puppy. I know puppies and dogs do stuff like that. I mean, Chad is a new mother. Hello, and I'm sure he's going through it. But
Facts.
Twitter was going crazy. Twitter was like, so she really gonna leave the pee like that? I'm just like, child, y'all know what they be doing, child. Y'all know.
Listen,
Let's not be surprised.
that was definitely a bit much. I was like, I don't know about that. But, rich people, they do things kind of weird sometimes. She probably took them sheets off, threw them away, and had a whole nother set by the end of the day.
Yeah. Look at that. Sasuke said, this is why you don't eat everybody's house. You don't.
This is a fact.
Especially Kyle Rich's house. I would never eat over there. Ever.
Nasty.
She need her ass whooped for letting them dogs roam the way she do.
That is nasty. So in her scene, she explains that she had to, I don't know where, I forgot where, but she had to go and basically get married somewhere else to get married over in Dubai, right? And so she is planning a hen party, which is a bachelorette party over there. And so that's what she's kind of like, going on about. And then we kind of get introduced more so to Chanel. So Chanel is a model. First of all, I was like, okay, like move Cynthia, move Eva. Like, and the thing is, she really looks like Chanel. She looks just like Chanel. So
no, Iman.
I'm sorry, Iman. And so for people that were like watching the show, you're like, damn, she looks just like. They look damn near twins. I mean,
yes.
Now she ain't got she ain't no bad model, but she ain't got the skill of the mom. But she looked just like. I'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
But I like that they were showing her journey and just showing her with that. And then I don't think did they show much with her kids. They didn't show a whole lot with her.
They just showed a little bit.
Just a little glimpse.
I don't think.
Well, I mean, they showed enough because she only has the one son.
Yeah.
Okay. And they showed her, playing the little slide. That little
That's
game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They were.
So,
they were.
yeah.
That was
and
cute.
she talked about, how she wants him to remember, their memories and stuff, and saying that, if his daddy's not in town and he wants to skip school, she's like, okay, we're not going to school. What are we doing today? So she seems like a really fun mom. She seems like that type. I like her.
I think she's a fun person. But I also think she's on TV and she got to do some things different. Yeah. I mean, to do what she got to do. So I'm no stranger to that. But what? So there's a sit down. They do introduce Lesa Milan too, and she first of all, I like that they show how hot it was in Dubai. They show how they had to get ice in the pool. I thought it was very interesting, like big blocks of fucking ice, like big blocks of ice. And her relationship with her kids are cute. I guess if you did watch College Hill, seeing that person and seeing her now, like that's like I don't want to say it's a different person, but she seems to be well mature and definitely in the realm of her own life. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
What did y'all think?
I thought the same thing. I mean, I feel like we have to also always take into consideration where someone is now, which with her being married, having 3 kids, being in a whole nother country, it's just like, I feel like you would have to be, not a different person, but a different person, if that makes sense. Like there's no way you could still be that same girl from College Hill, years ago. And it's just she's on a whole nother level of life right now. So it's just like I expected that.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually wondered if that could be one of the reasons why if she doesn't mention College Hill, that she kind of wants to just put herself out there as like grown, sophisticated, a wife, a mother, something totally different from what she was when she was on BET.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the first sit down. So Milan and Ayan sit down, and they go. They look good. They look great, and they're talking about the upcoming event that is happening. That obviously Ayan is not invited to. And while they're talking about it, Milan gets a phone call. Now, before she gets the phone call, they're talking about Brookes and somebody else. Basically, I think Milan made the comment that Brookes goes wherever the wind blows. I guess insinuating that she's a flip flopping girl based off the event because they were talking about who was invited. And everybody was invited except for Ayan. Is it Ayan or Ayan? Ayan, else?
I've been saying Ayan.
Ayan, okay. So she gets the phone call and it's Brookes. And Brookes is like, girl, let me tell you, girl, did you know that, Ayan is not invited to the hen party? And so she's doing all this at the table. And the first thing I'm thinking, like, is she going to tell her that she's with her? I'm like, is she going to tell her? Of course she doesn't tell her. And I don't know how somebody on the other end of the phone doesn't realize that something may be going on, because if you're on the phone with somebody, you can tell when you don't have the undivided attention. And I feel like Brookes should have been like, girl, what's going on? What's going on over there? But nonetheless, she has a whole conversation with her. And, Milan is just like, just nodding and talking to Ayan at the same time across the table. Ayan is like, don't call her honey. Don't call her honey. Just egging it on right. So she gets off the phone and she just says she's messy. And she makes a statement saying that, she's first them both. But at the end of the day, she's always going to have loyalty to Chanel. Ayan. So what are y'all thoughts of that whole scene? Because personally, I'm gonna say that I think she should have definitely told her she was there. She at least told her that. But it did give, like they said in the group chat back in the day in the 90s, when you call somebody on three-way and be like, girl, don't say nothing. Except for she didn't even know she didn't know the girl was there. Or maybe she did. I'm not sure. What y'all think?
I thought that it was one of those scenes where it was just like, okay, Lesa, she's one of those people that doesn't seem like she doesn't like confrontation too much. So she was like, both of these are my friends. I'm in the middle of it. I'm always in the middle of it from the way she was selling it. She was just like, let me just keep the confusion down and just chill out. I'm going to just say what I need to say to get Brookes off the phone before. Because I feel like Chanel really would have turned up and yelled and said something like, I can hear you. I just feel like she's that type of girl. So
I'm surprised she didn't. I thought she would have said something.
I was waiting on that.
I was waiting on her to be like, girl, I'm right here or something. I was expecting that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of gagged at that.
And Brookes was so caught up in gossiping, I don't see how she didn't hear her like mumbling or whispering to Milan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seemed like she would have called her and been like, wait a minute, girl, what's going on? Like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
But then she was so excited just to talk about the girl not being invited. She probably wasn't even paying attention to the background.
Well, this is in this scene. I realized that these two are obviously a duo, but I'm worried that it's gonna come to a point to where we're gonna see Milan she's gonna come off probably not as going as hard for Ayan as she should, because it seems like she doesn't like confrontation, but that's only gonna get Ayan in so much trouble because clearly we're gonna talk about the last scene. She's very confrontational,
yes.
in a group of women that already seem like they already see her as one way, she gonna need the help of somebody, but it ain't gonna be Milan. It's not.
Right.
She gonna let that girl, her little wigs already slide back. They're gonna be coming off.
Right.
She's not the one, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I think Antonio said like Lisa or Milan, she is kind of little two-faced because she's friends with Brookes, but she has loyalty to her, so she always gonna choose her. But at the same time, she don't speak up for it. It's just a weird place to be in, and I hope she finds a balance because that's gonna get very annoying very fast.
But I also wonder if she doesn't speak up for her because Chanel's going to speak up for herself every time. Chanel seems like she's always going to say what she want to say and speak up for herself regardless. So, sometimes you have that friend that you don't have to say anything for or have to defend because they got it covered. Now, It will be nice for her to chime in and say some stuff every blue moon, but Chanel she really don't need no army at all.
She needs some.
I agree.
The only reason I say she needs some because of the last scene, which you're gonna talk about, but we'll get to that after we talk about Caroline's hen party. The party looked nice. Party looked great. They had a good time. The drinking, like Caroline was lit. I thought it was really nice overall. Like when I first saw hen, I was like, oh, they getting henna. But then they was talking about like that's what I thought initially. When they translated, it was a bachelorette party. I was like, okay. But did y'all have any thoughts on the actual event itself? Her actual the hen party?
It was cute. I thought it was a cute little party. I thought it was awkward that the husband was there, but it was cute.
Yeah, he gives me real clingy. Like
do he give clingy or does he give that she wants him? I feel like she.
That's what I got.
I don't feel like he's that clingy. I feel like she be wanting him to be there. Like she may be the one to be like, "You better stay by me."
I don't know. I mean, to me, the party looked nice. I was just curious as she was going on to explain about how they can't do like liquor and stuff like that, and they had to sneak it onto the boat. I wonder how that's going to go over with the people that are actually from there, with them living there and filming all this stuff on the TV. I wonder how they get a real bad backlash from that.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting, Sammy. Like she was like, yeah, you can't just go into a convenience store and buy it. I was like, what?
Yeah, and then I think it was Milan was like, what happens on the ocean stays on the ocean. It's like, they gonna see y'all, girl. Y'all on TV.
Exactly. So, I wonder what all type of, like, I feel like the production, like, we are paying attention to what's on the surface and what we see. But I feel like this show is probably very expensive. Like, just all the legal loopholes they had to go through in order to film. I'm sure certain places they probably had to pay thousands of dollars to, do certain stuff. I really would love to get to the technicalities of the production of the show. Because I thought that was very interesting.
I found it
that it was going to be like that.
I even found it interesting when she was walking up and he was telling her that she had to take off her shoes or something to go into the boat. So I was like, well, damn, they got all kind of rules and stuff they got to go about.
It's interesting because they are trying to, I don't want to say put on, but they're, giving out that Dubai is not all of what it seems. But when you see things like that, shoes off, no alcohol, it's kind of coming off like it is what it seems.
Yeah.
It's weird. So maybe we'll see more. I do see Saz K says alcohol is a housewife staple. That is very true. We know the best scenes is when the girls are having cocktails. And they even said on the Ultimate Girls Trip that ordering drinks and stuff like that is like a big thing for housewives in general. It's always a big thing. So I did want to ask y'all a question based off of this coming from Brown Art. Do y'all think that Lisa should have went to Hermes or stayed went to the party like she went? Do you think she made the right decision by going to the party, or should she have went to Hermes with Ayan?
I would have preferred her to go with Ayan. And I have this is why I feel like she's going to probably be one of my least favorite, because as I think somebody said last night, she's not wishy-washy, but as far as her picking sides, yes, Ayan is her friend, but it gives me that she really is about to put on to mesh well with these ladies.
I don't
know.
And
I say that based off closer to the end, closer to the scene we'll talk about in the end.
I'm on Chase's side. I see his comments. She can always go to Hermes. I like that she told Ayan straight up that, you know, you only get married once. And then she was like, you know, jokingly, she was like, well, twice in this case. But I think that sometimes we have to weigh our, you know, things that we do. And in this case, I think the only reason why it made it somewhat messy is because Ayan wasn't invited to
Yeah,
Caroline's hen party.
yeah,
And she doesn't really get along with Caroline. I think
yeah,
had this been, you know, a situation where Ayan was invited as well, or, you know, I think it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
yeah. Yeah, when she first said Hermes, I'm thinking, are they going to Hermes' house or like what? When she said it, I'm like, okay, but then honestly, in comparison, I would just went to the party. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no debate. You know, it's the party, the bachelorette party. I can go to Hermes anytime. I mean, with the kind of wealth they have, you would think. I'm just saying. So, but I do agree. The fact that she wasn't invited, I feel like they probably was like, you better go to that damn party. Production's over to go to that party. That way, it'll make it even more. You know. So I don't know. But as far as your comment, we're gonna talk about it some more, Sammy. As far as like her. I feel like she's gonna be rudely awakened about those girls because she obviously when she gets into it, when she calls, you know, don't play with me, play with your boy toy. I'm pretty sure that's Caroline she's talking to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very sure. So she's gonna be rudely awakened to whatever happened on that side, to where she gonna probably clearly align herself with Chanel. And based off of what's going on right now, like they still hang out like in real time. You know, Chanel. Brookes, Milan, and I think one of the other was it Nina? I think it was Nina or Sarah. They were all at the event together last night or a couple nights ago. So they all are still cool. So I think Caroline is going to be the real villain this season. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's how she was on Ladies of London. If you ever want to go back and watch it, Caroline was, like I said in the group chat, she was that bitch. Like it was like clearly Caroline, the rest of the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
She's that person that has no real loyalty to no one. She's just like, I'm Caroline. I'm from an aristocratic family. I'm like, that's really how Caroline is. So I'm really interested to see if that's still how she is, which I think it is.
It gives that.
Yeah. She has it's something about her to where I feel like they all respect her. They all look at her a certain way. They hold her to a higher like regard. And I feel like I mean that's why I don't really gravitate to women like that. People on the cast like that. That's not really my favorite type of people, but we'll see. She definitely has sass about her, and so that's what's gonna keep her, good graces. Because we'll see. We'll just see. I don't know. But yeah, the event was cool. Milan did go to the bachelorette, aka hen party, and Ayan did not go. So we fast forward to. We do see a scene of Sarah with her family. They really didn't give us a lot of Sarah towards the end. Like she had I was surprised they didn't give like each individual woman their individual story first before we get into the group scenes. But they kind of stuck her in at the last minute. I almost feel like was she like a last minute decision? It just felt like they kind of was like, oh yeah, put Sarah right here. It just felt off to me. But I love seeing her with her family. Now we get to Nina has a dinner party event, and they're all supposed to wear pastels, I believe. But the only person that wore like pastel colors was Brookes. Everybody else had on. I felt like they were all dressed for the promo of the damn show because they all had on gold and white and gowns. It was just a little weird to me, but kudos to her for getting it right or whatever. So they're at the table, and the first thing they're all talking about is the bachelorette party, obviously, because they all went and Chanel did not go. So, I keep saying Chanel, but Ayan and Chanel, same person, right? So it gets to a point to where they're still talking about it, and Ayan is just like, okay, let's stop talking about that. I don't give a shit about that. I wasn't invited, so let's not talk about it. And everybody's looking at her like, whoop. So I want to ask y'all, was she wrong? What y'all think?
I get her not wanting them to discuss it because she wasn't there, but I just think for her to truly expect for them to just not carry on with the conversation or to even speak about the night they had, I thought it was crazy. I get where she was coming from, though. I wasn't there, and she felt like they were trying to be funny. But I mean, for her to ask the group of women to stop talking about an event because she wasn't there, I thought it was wild.
I think I'm in the middle. I feel like, production is edited. I just wonder how long they were talking about it
Yeah,
before she
okay.
finally got to that point to where it's like, okay, like let's move on to something else. It seemed like it could be two things. It could be that they was talking about it for a long time and she got annoyed, or production was like, they edited it to where it was like how we saw it. But I think what we always also have to keep in mind is African women, well, African people in general, and this is no offense to anybody that's, from Africa, but foreigners tend to be very aggressive with the way they say things and the way that they, go about doing things. And I think we're going to get a lot of that from her this season, to where she may come off a certain way, even if that's not how she means it. But I don't think that she was necessarily being, well, no, let me stop. She was being rude, because she said, I don't want to talk about that shit no more. I don't care about it. But yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I feel like a part of her is that's just how she is. Like, she just speaks that way, and I don't think that she thinks that it's like being rude, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
that she thinks that she's rude. I think she thinks she's just direct. Maybe, I don't know.
Her approach was just wrong. I don't see anything wrong with her saying, "Hey, y'all, can we talk about something else?" Like, no offense, but I wasn't there. I can't, put it that way. But where it went disrespectful was, I don't give a shit about that, because it wasn't just any event. It was somebody's bachelorette event.
Party.
So that's what made it like, well, then, because even I think Nina was like, well, this was it Sarah? I keep kind of confused them too. They don't look alike, but they were like, the cameras was panning, child, and I couldn't really keep up. But one of them said that, this is a big moment for her, and I was just like, you're right, it is a big. This is her bachelorette, and there's no regular ice cream social, So I felt like it was right. And then instead of her kind of backing down a little bit, she kind of kept going at it. And then I do agree with somebody saying, I think Brownard says, I saw Brookes was doing it basically to piss her off. Brookes was definitely trying to piss her off, because you can tell she was just like, oh, yes, I had champagne. I was drunk. It was kind of like how Gertie did when Gertie was like, oh, yeah, she touched her feet. Remember, she was like, how she kept doing it, like,
Yes.
it was given that. And Brookes knew what she was doing. So, I mean, Ayan said that Brookes clearly knows how to piss her off. So she clearly likes to piss her off. So I think it was just part of the plan. But to Caroline, who hadn't said anything to her yet, it was rude. But Caroline quickly fired back and was like, I can't bear this woman. And I was like, ooh, like, she don't like her. Like, that's strong.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a very strong statement.
I thought that too. I was like, whoa, like, not, I can't deal with her right now. I can't bear this woman. I was like, that's a very, very strong statement.
Very, very, very.
And you know what? I always wonder, like, so for you, Chad, since you're familiar with her from Ladies of London, do you think something happened already between them, or do you think she really just hasn't even tried to get to know her and doesn't care to get to know her?
I think that something may have happened, but I mean, Caroline, she's one of those people, like Cortez said, she just has that aura about her that is so, like, I feel like she has that aura of, I'm that bitch, without even really exuding that. Like, it's just on her, it's in her. And I think that some people may be intimidated by it, which I think that in this case, Chanel might be slightly intimidated by it, because one thing about Caroline, she's not going to give you too much. You could be the most beautiful in the room. She'll be like, oh, you look nice. And it's not shade. It's just like, oh, you look nice. Or you can come in with a Rolls Royce and a Ferrari, and she'll be like, oh, that's a very nice car. She's not going to ever give you too much. And I think that if you are a person that, cannot really take that type of stuff, it just kind of comes off a little weird. I think that her and Ayan are two very strong personalities from two different types of like lanes. And I think that I don't think that they will ever get along.
They're not, so I think they're very similar in different ways. Like, they both want to be, like, I see this coming. Caroline and Ayan are fighting for Queen Bee status, very much so. If I were to choose one, I would go with Ayan, just because she has a slightly better, more of a personality. Caroline seems kind of boring, actually. At least from what I've seen in this episode, she can be spicy, but still overall, like, who I would have fun with would definitely be Ayan. But I just feel like when you said that she could possibly be intimidated. I think Caroline may be intimidated by her because she
Yeah,
has a
it's
very
vice
strong
versa.
personality and she's very much so in your face and blunt. And most people, she's the type of person, you ever heard somebody be like, that person is too much, or like somebody ever told you too much. Like that's what I feel like people may look at Ayan as like the person that's too much. And honestly, she's not too much. She's just not a personality or someone that people can actually identify with. And I think that's probably why, because everyone else, the other ladies clearly tend to kind of kiss to Caroline's ass, Milan included. And Ayan is just not that girl. She doesn't seem to be that girl.
What's weird is, like the comment says, Caroline and Ayan are fighting for Queen Bee status. Caroline is not fighting for anything, sweetie. It's really Ayan. Ayan already knows that Caroline is the Queen Bee. They all know that Caroline is the Queen Bee. But Ayan is the one that wants to, that will beef with her and that will go against her. And I think that's cool and that's okay. But let's just call a spade a spade. Caroline is not fighting for anything. This is something that she was kept on the radar for, because this show has been in development for a while, and she was always the person that was going to be on this show, regardless. I think I said in the group chat last night when we mentioned first chair. I was like, Caroline don't have to do anything. Honestly, she will be first chair when reunion time comes up. She will be first chair. And she can be the most boring person throughout the season, but it's one of those things is where she's just the natural queen bee. Yeah, and I hate to say that because I love Ayan, but that's just what it is.
She didn't really give me, like, I wasn't not into her, you're not paying her too much attention, but it wasn't until that last scene for Caroline where I was like, okay, I got that from her. Just I'm the girl, and y'all just gonna have to deal with it. That's what she gave me. Even in her replies back during the argument, it wasn't even, she wasn't pluffing her chest or nothing. She was just saying her shit. And
she wasn't phased.
Yeah,
she wasn't phased.
I enjoyed her in those scenes.
I feel like so you can be unbothered and still be intimidated, and I still feel like there's something about her. I don't think there's anything that Ayan would have done. We don't know yet to make her not like her. I think she just can't take her in the sense of her personality, because it's she can be looked at as a lot from certain people, and I think from someone looking at Caroline and looking at Ayan, they're very similar, but they're very different in terms of. So one is extroverted and one is a little bit more pulled back, and that's just what I think the issue is. But we'll see. I don't know, but I definitely agree. I think we talked about it last night. They at first I think I was like, okay, Ayan and Brookes, but no, Ayan and Stanbury will definitely be next to Andy. It's just already looking that way.
Yes,
very much so. Yeah.
Come on, Nene and Kim. That's a good comparison.
Okay. And then after that, so they kind of talk about it a little bit more, and they kind of bring it down. But Ayan's in the middle of the toast says she's something else she wants to address. She says that she got a call from Brookes saying that Caroline only wanted important people to come to the party and that she was not important. So Brookes says that she didn't. She says that she said that Caroline did not say. Those were not her words. And she wanted to clear it up or whatever. It seemed like she was a little scared of it too, because she was just like, I'm just making a joke. Don't try to put me in it. She tried to clear it up first, and then she went back and forth. So they end up going back and forth, and just telling her, she said that she's jealous of her, and she was like, jealous of what? You look like a scarecrow. What's that, a stiff scarecrow or something like that with your wig, stiff wig? Yes. She read her, and I'm glad, because Chanel's wig was, back there.
It was bad.
It was back there. It was kind of bad a lot of episodes. I hope she get that together. Brooke's hair was on point. She had some good hair. She got some good glam. Just saying.
I agree.
So that happens, and then after that, before anything can be said, Caroline says, "I did not say it, but now I do." In other words, you're not important. That's why you weren't invited to the party. And that's just kind of where it ends. Where is that? And honestly, I was expecting, I'm like, Milan, do something, say something. But no, she didn't say nothing. I was just
she did. She did say something when she initially went to do the toast. She was like, "Oh wait, I thought she was going to do a toast." Kind of trying to make it look like, I don't agree with what she finna. I mean, as far as she threw under the bus to me, in my opinion, when I thought she was going to do a toast.
What did we want her to say?
They could be like, all right, guys, no, let's do whatever. If my thing is, if Milan can say that Brookes is this type of person, then why would you sit there and let her? Because the thing is, she used the whole statement of I don't want to be in the middle, but you're not in the middle. There's nothing. People always mistake being in the middle for stepping in and helping out a friend. If you feel it, if you really feel like you're in the middle, then chances are you're probably not. And I feel like she could have, in a moment where you have an entire group of women coming at one person, essentially, because they all were aligned with Caroline. She was focused on her dinner, but Nina was very much so like, okay, girl, like you didn't say this. You didn't. It just felt. I feel like Milan could have said more. She didn't say nothing. That's not enough, personally. If I was Chanel, I'd be like, damn, girl, you gonna let me get my ass beat like that? You ain't trying to help. Especially if I'm friends with the other person that is helping Brookes. That's helping Brookes. I would have said something, but like you said, Sam, maybe she's trying to fit in. That's just me.
It just gave me that. It feels like Caroline is the girl they know that they got to be okay with.
Well, it looks like they're gonna find out. Just like Crystal found out that these girls over here ain't cool with her. She's trying to fit in with them. I'm at least gonna find out that Caroline ain't the side for her. Hopefully, because
we'll see.
Yeah, Ayan got told she was mad at the table. I just wish she cool, but I wish she would have had a little more help. I'm like, girl, they get you, sister. That is getting you, sister. That's what I got at that table. Like, sister was getting whoa out.
When hello, yeah.
When hello. Any thoughts on that scene?
I think Brookes is lying.
I think she did tell her that that's what Caroline said. Because
I agree.
I said it. No, I think she did tell her that Caroline said that.
I agree. I think she told her that because she knew that her and Caroline already don't see it for each other. And I think that she knew that Ayan would automatically believe it.
Yeah. Looking at some of the comments. Brown R says, where'd it go? It was somewhere. Oh, if my friend getting dragged, I'm riding. I mean, come on now. I know the type of people y'all, especially you, Sam. I know damn well you finna let your homeboy get tore up at the table like that. I know you.
Let's just calm it down. She could. I feel like I didn't expect her to
even do that.
Take a side, but she could have calmed it down. I just kept it all to herself because I thought you were about to give a toast. For me, that's like, okay, here she go. She's picking a side for sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And so the dinner ends, Ayan's wig was on the back of her dome. She was mad. Brookes was quiet. Caroline said basically the girl wasn't important, and the rest of the girls were just kind of quiet. And so I think we are in for a good ride of a show. It's the first season, so it probably will be no more than 10 to 13 episodes. That's typically what they give on these new shows. It's kind of what they did for Salt Lake City. But anything that we did not discuss that we need to talk about before we let some callers in?
No, I think we discussed it all.
It was a solid premiere. It was a really solid premiere. I'm really glad that I gave it a chance. I mean, I was going to do it anyway, but I'm glad that I'm actually into it and that we're actually talking about it too. But yeah, TKC, I'm trying to get into Dubai. I just feel Housewives has become a little oversaturated. It's a lot of coming on. I did feel like the Housewives used to take a long time to come, but I think the time is just passing by really fast. I mean, with the pandemic happening, they got to push these shows out. They don't have the time to just really waste, with not filming. They have to film it. I mean, because Salt Lake City's done. Potomac is just about done. I mean, New Jersey is just getting started, kind of. They just went on, so yeah.
I think it works though because even though it's a lot of different housewives, not everybody watches every one. So I think Bravo doing good the way they're pushing it out to me.
Yeah, I agree. That is very true. Now, I forgot everybody ain't like us. Everybody don't watch all of them, child, but I watch all of them except for Orange County. I just can't get into that one.
Orange County and Jersey for me.
Jersey.
I've never been able to get into Jersey.
I can't do Orange County, or I haven't never watched Dallas either.
I love Dallas.
Yeah, I never watched.
I ain't watched Dallas like that either. Just a few clips. I'm sending the link into the chat for a few call-ins. But yeah, we talked about everything. It was definitely a good premiere. and I'm excited to see where it goes. We're going to be doing this show on Thursdays, so we know Beverly Hills will resume at its regular time on Wednesdays, right afterwards. So you can either choose to come watch us or watch Dubai, but prefer to come watch us
And then
because
watch Dubai before you come watch us on Thursday.
yeah, watch Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai is on Peacock. You can
Mhm.
watch get DVR. No, all y'all got DVR. He said Jersey is more. All right, Chad. They say you need to watch Jersey and stop
We
playing.
we actually had this conversation last night when we was watching it. Who y'all think is the top franchise right now?
Beverly Hills.
I said Beverly Hills as well,
Yeah.
but I
And
said
they've been
Potomac is my
consistent.
favorite.
They've been
Beverly
consistent.
Hills. Beverly Hills right now. Potomac does well. They doing really good. Salt Lake City was, but I don't know. I wonder how they're gonna go next season because of their last season. But Salt Lake City was moving up there in terms of like the views wasn't that high, I feel like, but it was so popular. Like everybody was talking about it.
The entertainment factor.
It was very entertaining. So I'm curious to see what happens season 3 if we talking about it or whatever. But yeah, Beverly Hills is definitely, in my opinion, the top. Jersey is consistent. Jersey has a loyal fan base. They ain't going nowhere because Jersey has had a lot going on since the beginning, and I think they are still around for a reason. So that's exciting too. And Atlanta, they still trying to push, child. They are trying, and I'm gonna support them until
I got my
Bravo comes
fingers
to me
crossed.
personally and says they canceled. To me, they gonna still be going because they put all these hoes on the map. Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe they should rebrand as like the Housewives of Decatur or something.
Not the Housewives of DeKalb County.
I mean, hey, that Potomac is technically a rebrand of the House of DC.
DC.
The Housewives of Marietta. Nah. Okay, we're gonna let our first caller on. And before I do that, be sure to hit this like button. And if you did watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we did the recap on that earlier, and it was hosted by Chase. It was a very good discussion with myself, Demisio, and Antonio. Check that video out as well. And our caller, looks like our only caller today is going to be.
Hello, my boys.
What's going on?
Hey,
Hello,
Lisa.
Cortez, baby. We gonna get us some white men. We gonna move to Dubai, baby. Okay,
Oh,
cause them, baby, I'm gonna tell you something. Them the real rich bitches. Not the rich, but the wealthy bitches of the franchises. Okay, because baby, them bitches is living large over there. Like that girl said, it's a whole different tax bracket over there. Okay, and I truly believe that. And I really believe that shit, girl. But that show like that, I said I give it a 7, okay?
Okay.
Because I am feeling this. I am feeling this. I'm loving the black girl magic over there, okay? My black sisters over there, baby, they turned up over there, baby doll, honey. They are Brooke, honey. She said she divorced, honey, but she said, that's okay. I'm leaving without nothing, but I'm gonna make something though without you. And they look like she did, okay? Cause she got, I know she get child support for that little boy. You know what I'm saying? So you look like she done made her way over the books. Okay, cause she said she left her husband without nothing, okay? Without no money. So, she said, I'm gonna make it on my own. And I look like she did make it, okay? I'm just like that, I'm just saying. But them like, I mean, to me, okay, now Caroline, the white Caroline. Yeah, she was a bitch on Ladies of London, and I think she gonna be a bitch on this show. But I'm not mad at her right now because she got that sexy stud over there, okay? And she got him to marry her, okay? So I
Yes.
marry his sister, okay? Word him out, honey. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay for him, okay? And now she had to pay for him, okay, but she paid good because he's a real good stud. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, like I said, now Chanel, whatever her damn name is, she come out as a bitch too. You know what I'm saying? They're like that's what her. They're like I said, they got some familiar ways. You know what I'm saying? So Chanel tell you, bitch, I'm better than you. What you coming from? I'm better than you. And Caroline said, no, you ain't better than me. And so, so like I said, it's gonna be a bitch fest who gonna sit next to a lady on the couch. Okay. And then let's move on. Cause I'm tired. I'm already tired. Them two right there. But I'm gonna say like now Brooke is gonna be a little bit messy. And I think Les should have told Brooke, girl, what's the name sitting around here? You know, let me call you back. Let me call you back. You know, so we can talk. But it's like Brooke gonna be a little bit messy. Okay, and
Mhm.
I like that. She gonna bring it. You like she gonna bring it, but you know, the other girl, it seems like gonna be a good kind of show. And so, you know, and it seems like gonna be a good show to me. And I'm on here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here to see all the wealthy and all everything they got to offer over there. Now the human right violation and shit. I'm kind of. They said no alcohol, so babe, they said no alcohol.
Oh my
I
God.
get over there because I don't. I gotta have my cocktail, even though I'm not drinking alcohol right now. You know what I'm saying? So I won't fit over there, baby dog. I look like
Child, you just gonna be lovable Lisa. You ain't gonna be cocktails for lovable Lisa over there.
so like that. Nah, baby, I'm gonna find me a white man, baby. I'm going over there, baby dog. Cause them sisters
Period.
over there, and all them white girls, them black girls over there got white head white men. She, they took them
It's some
home.
black
I
men over
know,
there too now.
huh?
It's some black men over there too now. I know.
Well, I didn't see none, baby. I just seen the white chick with the wealthy white man, honey. You know, so you know, I guess of him, the black men, they got the white girls in the houses of him in fans' houses over there. You got the black sisters over with the white men in the $1 million mansions over there, and all that right there. Shit, I'm going over there, goddamn. Find
Okay.
me a freaking white man. Come on,
Hello.
Coach, let's go.
Well, I already got me a black man here in the other room, so I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
But tell him we
I ain't
got
trying
to
to get
go
in
to Dubai then.
trouble. He
Yeah, we
probably
got to go
like
to Dubai. Yeah, we going to Dubai then. Because that's
I
where the
am
money
dead.
is, baby. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night,
all
okay?
right, good night,
Mwah.
Lisa.
Bye, Lisa.
Child, if you down, Lisa is charting a plane. You taking all the black women over there to get some white men. Y'all need to
Yes.
get Lisa, okay? Just make sure I have a cocktail for them. Okay, well, that was our only caller for today. Meow, but that's okay. We'll be here next week for to talk about more. Like I said, be sure to check out Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We did earlier. That's up right now. And be sure to hit that like button, like I always say, and
Thumbs
subscribe.
up.
I know many of you say you're not getting the notifications, stuff like that. Make sure that when you're subscribed, you also hit that little bell. There's a bell, I think, down below the video or like what the subscribe button is. It actually will like send you alerts such as like emails and stuff like that. I believe it does. So when we go live, so you'll know. Because I don't know why it's not doing that for some people, but just make sure you subscribe. If you're new, then subscribe. If you're not and you're subscribed, that's a problem. But that way you've been in the loop for all of our like one-offs and when things are canceled, when things are added. Just subscribe, okay? Thank y'all for watching tonight. Thank you, Sammy and Chad, for tonight. Read the review, and we'll see y'all next week for Atlanta, Beverly Hills, and Dubai. Okay, y'all have a good rest of y'all Thursday. Have a happy and nice, fun weekend, and be safe. All right. Good night.
Bye.